Ελληνική ραδιοφωνία.
ΕΡΤ Open.
Η ΕΡΤ είναι εδώ. Έκθεση φωτογραφίας ενάντια στο μαύρο. Στιγμές, αλήθειες, συναισθήματα.
Από 11 Ιούνιου 2013 που έπεσε το μαύρο στη δημοκρατία μέχρι σήμερα.
Η έκθεση λειτουργεί καθημερινά από τις 12 το μεσημέρι ως τις 10 το βράδυ. Μεσογείων 463, Αγία Παρασκευή.
Ο αγώνας συνεχίζεται. ERTOpen.com. Πως παίρνει.
ΕΡΤ Open. Εκεί που χτυπάει η καρδιά της ΕΡΤ.
Με ένα έκτακτο απροκάλυπτα. Απροκάλυπτα έκτακτα γιατί έχουμε φωνάξει τον μεγάλο Dennis Straton. Hello, Dennis, how are you?
I'm very well. I'm very well. Rushing around, but really glad to be here. Really good.
I think you must be tired because you have came in Athens at 3 o'clock and you're on the run.
Yeah. It's not too bad. I'm used to rushing around everywhere, but yeah, you're right. Since we got off the plane, it's just been a whirlwind of traffic and rushing around in this little car with you, and it's a bit like Batman and Robin, you know.
The first time we've heard about you, I was about 5 years old. It was the first album of Iron Maiden that destroyed my life and never let me move from this music to anything else. How was the 80s? Let's say something like that.
Well, the thing is, if you know, you go back to me joining Iron Maiden in 1979. So you know, I was already working full time with a band, Remusdown Boulevard, RDB, and I joined the band in '79. So it was new to me because I'd played with Status Quo all over Europe and Scandinavia, and going into a metal band was a little bit of a change of direction for me. But it you know, it was a good bit of competition because it was like learning we're putting all the harmony guitars into the Maiden metal songs, if you see what I mean.
So, what music were you playing till you joined Iron Maiden?
Basically, we were influenced by the old bands Wishbone Ash. All had the harmony guitar playing. So I'd always work with another guitarist as a harmony guitar player, 2 vocals and 2 guitars. Going into Iron Maiden made me sort of like put my head down and go into a lot of work, because the stuff that they were recording at the time, the Soundhouse tapes and the early stuff, just had the one guitar on, you know. So it was nice for me to be able to take that away and sort of make the songs bigger by adding the second guitar, and also widening the variety of the riffs by putting the harmony guitars down. So it was quite nice for me to be able to do that with all the early stuff, and it was quite very rushed to go into the studio and do the first album, because we were already playing the songs live. So it was good for me, you know, to.
You mean all the songs? You mean from the second album?
Yeah.
You mean from the Killers too?
Yeah, a lot of the stuff that we were doing live on stage because you got to remember, if you're playing for an hour and a half, you need a good, you know, selection of songs. So the first album, we did most of the first album, but to make the set last longer, we were including stuff off the Killers album, like Killers, you know, Rothschild. There was lots of stuff from the second album that we had in the set already. So basically the first 2 albums were all basically written.
So even though you have left the band before Killers, the second album, you have participated for the second album too.
Yeah, because when I first listened to Killers, once they'd recorded it with Adrian, I could still hear a lot of the stuff that I'd done on pre-production being reproduced on that album, which was quite nice. Although the idea of working at pre-production was I was hopefully going to record that album, but I never got the chance. So it was just nice to hear the work that I'd put into the album still being recorded, you know.
After Iron Maiden, you were part of Lionheart for about 10 years, if I'm not
Around
mistaken.
about 7 years.
7 years?
6 or 7 years, yeah.
And then with Praying Mantis, one of the biggest heavy metal bands too, all over the world.
Well, basically, Mantis supported Iron Maiden on the first Metal for Mothers tour, so that's how I got to know him. And then, yes, after Lionheart sort of come back from America, and that didn't sort of take off the way it was supposed to, with CBS sort of letting us down quite heavily. But with being with Praying Mantis for 15 years, I already knew Tino and Chris, so it was quite nice to go into them. But what made it even stranger was that we were signed to a Japanese label. So basically, we weren't doing much work in England. It was a lot of festivals in Europe, and 15 years going backwards and forwards to Japan, which was great. It's just that when you're doing all that for 15 years, people in London think you've packed up because you're not playing, but you're spending most of your time backwards and forwards to Japan.
And thank you very much for coming here at ERTT Open. I forgot to say it on the air. Thank you very much. We are honored.
My pleasure.
We have you here in Greece because of a gig you have to give tomorrow.
Yes.
Tomorrow night.
Yes.
At Kitaro.
Yeah.
You're doing a gig with Clairvoyant, an Italian band.
Yeah.
That it's a tribute band.
Well, I first went over to Milan about eight years ago to do a couple of festivals with the Clairvoyants, and they're a fantastic band. They also do their own stuff. They've got sort of 3 albums out. But for the last 8 years, I've gone backwards and forwards.
You know, they made years.
Yeah, and I go over there quite a lot. You know, we're like it's like a big family now, and we get really well treated, and the shows that we do over there are really good. When I went to Bulgaria with another band to do the Maiden set, Gabriel, the lead singer from Clairvoyance, flew to Bulgaria, and he did that show, which was great. But when I got asked to come to Athens to do this, I've been wanting to come to Greece for a long time. I've got some great T-shirts that the fan club from Iron Maiden sent me with the Greek FC on it, and I've got it to wear tomorrow at the gig, and I'm really proud of it. But it was so nice to be asked to come over here, so I thought the easiest way to do this, if they want to see the Iron Maiden show, from the first 2 albums is to bring the clairvoyants from Italy here, so that we've got a ready-made band that we can just walk on stage and play. So that's what I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
We are looking forward about it too. Okay. That's it. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you. And please, if it's ever possible, if the festival goes well and the show goes well tomorrow, you know, please, we'll come back next year and we won't be rushing. We'll come back, we'll have more time, we'll all go out for dinner and we can do an interview for as long as you want. You know?
Λοιπόν, αυτό θα το μεταφράσω, γιατί επειδή ο άνθρωπος τρέχει όντως από τις 3 η ώρα που έχει φτάσει, τρέχουμε μαζί, δεν έχουμε σταματήσει, δεν έχουμε σταθεί ούτε 5 λεπτά, πραγματικά είμαστε από σταθμό σε σταθμό, τρέχουμε και γι' αυτό το λόγο καθυστερήσαμε κιόλας. Μας δεσμεύτηκε εφόσον του χρόνου ξανά έρθει στην Ελλάδα για κάποια άλλη συναυλία, να κάτσουμε να κάνουμε μια εκπομπή της προκοπής, γιατί τώρα είμαστε πολύ, πολύ βιαστικοί για όλα. Λοιπόν, thank you very much. We will see you tomorrow at Κύτταρο. Το Κύτταρο το γνωρίζετε όλοι, στο κέντρο της Αθήνας. Θα περάσετε πολύ ωραία. Ο κύριος Straton, ο Ντένις, είναι θεός άμα τον γνωρίσετε και από κοντά. Λοιπόν, εμείς θα σας αφήσουμε με το ομότιτλο κομμάτι, τον Iron Maiden, από το ομότιτλο άλμπουμ, τον Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden, Iron Maiden, Iron Maiden. Thank you very much.
This is Iron Maiden.
Yeah.